So I'm Phil Whiddop. I'm the VP of Sales Operations at Railsr. I've been with the organisation now for coming up to 18 months. Railsr, or Railsbank as it was known when I joined, had been on this rapid growth journey. And it had grown incredibly fast with an incredibly talented group of people. What they were looking to do was make sure that they could keep that momentum of growth and scale effectively into their next chapter of their organisation. Historically, Railsbank had done an amazing job of growing so fast. It had a really talented and hardworking team that had essentially built the business from the ground up. Some of the things that were impeding that next level of growth were best-in-class systems, like a CRM system that was tuned into multiple different stakeholders within inside the business, but also a methodical and repeatable sales process in which we could measure and which we could improve. One of the things that Railsbank was trying to negate was bringing on the wrong type of clients, and to also be able to measure what was good and what was not so good. So making sure that they have the right systems and making sure they had the right measurable processes was the first step in enabling them to do that and to measure and to understand how they can improve and understand how they could avoid potential pitfalls. So what Slate Digital helped us to do was understand what the current resources that we had that would enable us to make this change. What they also helped us to do was understand the strategy and the methodology that we needed, not just to enact these changes, but to also make sure that we can measure these changes. So essentially what Slate Digital allowed us to do was to marry these two knowledge points together and really help us understand not just what was needed, but what actions we need to take in our current system, such as our LXP system and how we need to measure to make sure that we weren't just making changes, that we were making the right changes. And I think that's the really important thing that Slate Digital brought to the table, is they didn't just enable us to make the change, they enabled us to give us the insight of making the right changes. I think for me, the easiest thing with working with Slate Digital was the understanding of what we were trying to do as an organization, understanding that actually enabling change and enabling large scale change is a difficult and challenging process. So being able to break that down into the jobs to be done and to help us understand how we can maximize our chance of getting this right first time, that was the best thing about working with Slate Digital, and they helped us to do that. The really important thing of having Slate Digital was knowing that area between concept and execution and the knowledge transfer to the wider organization, that I had that sorted. There was a plan and a process and there was a methodology that they brought to the table that enabled me to put my focus at the changes that need to be made at the technology level and the process level, leaving me safe in mind that there was a methodology and a process and all to make sure that that will be actioned by the wider group.